Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. In today's special episode, we talk about the finale of Game of Thrones, sharing our thoughts and reflections on how the show ended. We hope you enjoy this podcast.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the #1 rated podcast on all of YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify. Shout out to our Spotify subscribers and the Patreon link that's going to be down in the description below. Make sure
Oh my god!
This is the Thinkable podcast, and I'm joined here with your two regular co-hosts. We've got Harminder. Shout out Harminder.
Yo.
And we've got Hardy.
Yes. What's up?
And then I am your guest co-host on today's episode. I am Johan, formerly known as the Love Doctor in a previous episode. But today we're going to be discussing something a lot more than just love. We're talking about a 10-year series in the making. If you aren't up to date, that series is, of course, Breaking Bad. Armindo?
I am not up to date. I've not seen Breaking Bad.
So today's episode.
Okay, end of podcast then, guys. All right.
End of podcast. So we will resume once Hardy finished Breaking Bad. So
yeah, we'll come back.
Catch us again on the next episode.
We're glad you enjoy this episode. So this is a very special episode, and we are here to discuss a show that's very particular close to our hearts, and that is Game of Thrones. So, as you know, the season finale has just finished, and we've had a mixed response from people, but the three of us ourselves have had such big responses from it. And what do you guys think, and what are your initial thoughts about how the season panned out?
The whole season?
Or
Okay, shall we talk about this? Shall we talk about the finale first, and then we'll talk about season as a whole?
Yeah.
I think why don't we talk about the episodes before? So like the culmination of all of it. Like, how did you guys feel starting from episode 1 all the way into episode 5, and then waiting for the finale? So what were your expectations from the beginning, and where did you think the finale was going to go?
I did not expect the finale to go how it did go. I'll tell you that straight.
By the way, spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Yeah.
If it's not in the title of this video, massive spoiler alert. All right, Hardy, go spoil it.
So episode 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Were they weren't the kind of episodes I was expecting to get from season 8. To say the least, and I think everyone kind of shares that general consensus. 1 and 2 were quite decent in terms of like there was a lot of character moments. There was a lot of like characters reuniting. You saw like it's like moments like where you see Jamie interact with Bran after the first episode in the first season. There was a lot of just things here and there which were really quite good, and they were building up to the Night King episode. Like really, like they were really putting a lot of like pressure or emphasis on it, and they were like, okay, it's going to be the biggest battle of our lives and we're going to die together and blah blah blah. So I thought, yeah, shit, this is going to be it, man. Like, episode 3 is going to be the one. And then I saw episode 3 and and then
and then it's episode 4.
And then I saw episode 4, and then I was still waiting for the hype that they were building up for. And then I was like, oh shit, maybe they've saved Cersei as the big bad, and that's where shit's gonna go down. And then I saw episode 5, and again, shit did go down, but it was not how I thought it would, and it's not how I wanted it to be. And how things did go down, I was not happy with it at all. I was very like, what the fuck, like what's happening here, and I was so the biggest disappointment for me personally in the whole season so far was episode 5. Because Dany is one of the biggest characters. She's one of the biggest like leads like from season 1, right? You're rooting for her over this 7 seasons, the past 7 seasons, you're rooting for her. You wanted to like, because for me, what made Game of Thrones good is because, or interesting was the fact that there's so many contenders for the throne. So I thought, wait, Jon Snow's good as well, but he might get the throne. But Daenerys, she's also good, she might get it. It was just like, oh yeah, but and this person and that person and this person. So I thought Daenerys, obviously one of the main characters, her arc just completely went sideways, and for me, I wasn't happy seeing that, and I found that episode just to be really, really bad, and so then that really dumped down my expectations for the finale. And I called Harminder and I told him that, I was like, bro, now at this point, now I've seen episode 5, I don't even give a shit how this season ends, because I just don't care anymore. I've just lost interest. I feel like, with how they've gone about it, I just don't care anymore. And just seeing how Cersei died with Jaime and Jaime's whole character arc, and all of those things combined.
So you just feel like you didn't care anymore by the time the finale came around.
Exactly. So all those 5 episodes, 1 to 5, they kind of just, I was just left whatever. And then going into the last episode, actually, I did kind of enjoy it, which is really weird. I wouldn't say I loved it. I just was like, okay, cool. I liked it. Cool. Yeah, it's ended now. Only because my expectations were just below the ground at this point. And I was expecting the worst of the worst. And because Tyrion's my favorite character, there was a lot of Tyrion in the episode. I thought, okay, cool, fine, whatever, So yeah, for me, the ending is what it is. I think that's what it was for me, the ending. What about you? What about you guys?
Harminder?
Well, my view is probably similar to Hardy's. I thought the first 2 episodes were really good. I felt like the build-up was pretty much there. You can tell, the battle, they're really, gonna put some, craziness in this battle. The Night King battle is gonna be something really epic. As you can see, how everyone's just, pretty much terrified. You kind of feel terrified with them. You're like, you know what, maybe it's the last time I can see, obviously, certain characters. But after episode 3, you sort of scratch your head. For me, that's where the problems start. You sort of scratch your head. It's like, why? Hang on, is that it then? And there's some of the decisions made. It's kind of, obviously we all know it's rushed, but not to this sense. You could rush it a series, but I think it's the writing and the direction that really lets it down, in my opinion. Episode 3, Night King supposed to be this crazy, mystic ruler gets stabbed by a little girl climbing up, and episode 4, I don't know what the hell happened in episode 4. I can't remember. All I remember is Melisandre's head getting chopped off. I don't know what happened.
This is the last of the Starks.
Yeah, do you remember anything else in the episode? Nope. I don't remember anything else.
They spent an hour with Tyrion and Varys just debating who's better, who's a better ruler, or Daenerys or Jon Snow.
Yeah.
And episode 5 is such a shame because it's filmed in such a great way, and you can tell how much effort they put into it. But I felt so bad how the direction was so useless. You can't foreshadow this. You can't force it out. She's a bit jealous and she's a bit upset. People don't like her, so I'm just gonna burn everything. And even episode 6, she doesn't really even justify why she did it. She just says, smiling at him like Jon Snow, oh yeah, we could build a new world. But it's what the hell? And episode 6, some of the things it's just so inconsistently written. And you see this one of the beginning scenes where Dany walks out of the throne room and she's speaking to her army. He's like, where did all this Dothraki come from? Unsullied come from? I don't know. A whole army, mountain army. Where the hell did they come from? Did you see the episode 4?
No, they reproduced. They
reproduced. There was 5 of them in the episode before.
I thought they were gone.
I thought they were gone.
I thought they were gone. I thought
that was it. She brought all these guys across the water, and they're all gone.
Gone, yeah. I was like, that makes more sense. If Cersei's looking at them, look at her army's shit and only one dragon, that's fine. That makes them a bit more even. You can't expect the whole massive Unsullied out of nowhere. It's just to make the scene look more epic. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, this show's went downhill ever since season 6, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ever since season 7 it had some good moments, but again, it wasn't the best. And obviously this season,
yeah.
really led.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think I want to say that my enjoyment of this season, I think why I still enjoy season 8 slightly was because all the character building had been done in the previous seasons. So when an episode like The Long Night came out, it was a bit of like, it was just an Avengers moment where you have all your favorite characters fighting, and you don't even need to hear them talk. You don't even need to hear any exposition. I watched The Long Night with a group of friends, and it was a really fun evening. And it got very hyped in that person's living room. It was a really good atmosphere. I really enjoyed it. And then immediately after the episode ended, I just kept thinking, so what? That whole build up with the White Walkers is completely gone. And I was kind of expecting some kind of twist ending here in the final episode, like Bran becomes the king and then he becomes a Night King or something like that, or some kind of cycle continues, or some kind of indication that it's not over. Or I know I was a bit optimistic to think that there would be some kind of explanation for the things that happen in this episode, and the things that happen in prior episodes, but I just have to agree. I felt like a lot of things just, I don't know whether it was budget or whether it's the constraint of it being a TV show, but I think some things were improperly planned or poorly planned, and a lot of things was done for the visual aesthetic rather than fulfilling the plot that we've been getting so far. But I have to say, this season, if there's one thing I can compliment it, is that it's given us some really iconic shots and some really, really nice visual art, I want to say. The thing that stands out the most in my mind as something that I'll continue to remember onwards, even to compare towards other TV shows or even film, is literally that scene with all the whites charging the Unsullied, where the Unsullied are just standing there, and literally out of the black of night, a wave of bodies like start pushing through. And I completely agree with you, Harminder. I think they should have just been a lot more brutal and just accepted the fact that there are no more, Dany's army doesn't exist because of that. And I think that would have justified her madness a lot more.
Exactly. And like, again, like me and Holly were discussing a few weeks ago when we watched episode 5, like, how did the dragons become so overpowered? I'm thinking at the end of season 6, when you see her with her dragons and Tyrion and everyone with the boats are flying to dragons, like they're ready to battle. Like, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, she's got 3 dragons. She's got, you know, all the Unsullied, all the ships and everything. She's chilling. Yeah, watch. And like, and you're thinking, oh, cool. You know, it's going to be a hard thing to do. You know, King's Landing, your Cersei army is going to be strong. You know, she's got the Iron Army and stuff. You know, the Golden Company and I just didn't understand how much destruction she caused with 1 dragon. Imagine 3. Oh, I don't even want to know. Like in episode 4, at the end of episode 4, when Melisandre's head got cut off, me and Harley were discussing, and we had this theory, like, you know what, we think the Mad Queen's going to happen. And we were both like, you know what, we can't wait to see it. Like, we were so excited. We're like, do you know what, we're going to see the Mad Queen. It's going to be cool. Let's see what she does. Like, she's going to, like, you know, burn Cersei. It's going to be so epic, yeah. She's going to go straight for Cersei in the Red Keep. Once we saw, once we see it, once we see her turn into Super Saiyan like level craziness.
She burns everyone apart from Cersei. Let's just put that out there. She burns everyone apart from Cersei.
I thought she was charging the Red Keep at first when she starts flying. I was like, oh right, Cersei's definitely dead here.
Burning everyone. There's no, like, even the army's given up. They were like, well, yo, fuck it, put her hands down. They were so trying to make Daenerys look like such a bad person. It was so forced. I'm like,
it was really forced.
Come on,
how would you not burn the castle first? You know,
it makes so much more sense. then like from there, even then you can say, oh, you did too much. You shouldn't have burnt the castle.
And then well, just to keep it moving, let's just talk through what we can remember from the very beginning of the episode. Let's start with the opening credits. So obviously it opens the way that it always does with the whole sort of chessboard and moving pieces, but I thought it was really cool how it ended with the chair and there was no symbol just above the chair, or just above the throne, sorry, kind of indicating that no one's in the position of power. Did you guys notice that when you watched
No, I didn't notice that.
Okay, well, before when Cersei was ruling, I believe it was, I think it was the lion was in there, was above the chair as a symbol, and now when this episode opens, the gate of King's Landing is completely blown down, but also there's no symbol above the chair to indicate that no one's in the position of power, and I thought that was interesting. I thought they would at least apply the Targaryen, but yeah, I think.
Sorry to cut it off there. I think one scene I did like in the last episode is probably the Drogon burning the seat sort of thing. That was kind of
I thought.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things I wish they'd done differently. Is it just me, or just talking about that scene? Don't you feel like the dragon should have been blowing his fire at Jon? I know people have come back with he's a Targaryen, he can't hurt Targaryens, he probably knows that he's fire resistant or whatever, but
I'd love to see him fire resistant.
Just like show it.
Show it. That's fan.
Show it.
That's like fan.
Yeah,
that's fan service.
I know, but like,
what you want to see Jon Snow get burnt? Yeah, that's fan service. Yeah.
What if he sat?
That is fan service.
What if he sat in the chair and he burned down the chair? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Jon sit on the chair, even for a second.
So
I would have, yeah.
So someone asked me how I wish that scene would have ended, and just with Jon killing Dany right afterwards. I personally, you know what I would have loved? I would have loved, he kills Dany. Everyone thinks he's the king, but he's just like, I don't want this responsibility. Jumps on Drogon's back and just leaves and never comes back.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen.
I was thinking that was going to happen as well.
I was like, just jump on his back and get out of there.
That's why. Yeah. For a second, when they were looking at each other before we burnt the chair, I literally thought that he was going to be like, we should get the fuck out of here.
But you know what the worst part is? Is the only evidence of Dany dying was that pool of blood. So you know that Jon literally went up to Grey Worm and was like, "Hey, I killed your queen." Like, what?
I don't know how he managed to survive that and put him in prison. I'm surprised Grey Worm would have went back.
I'm surprised they didn't kill him.
Kill him, yeah. That was very surprising. I guess the only way you look at it is like, unless Grey Worm was smart enough to realize if he kills Jon Snow, he might start another war. I don't think he can be able to rule that. I don't know. It's very surprising to let Jon Snow live for that long. So that was a bit inconsistent as well, I guess.
What about the Tyrion walking through King's Landing scene? Did you think that went on too long?
The start of it.
Yeah, that was a slow. Yeah, that was a bit slow.
I'm thinking the start of episode 6 was very slow. I'm like, come on, an hour left, man.
Do you remember that Baron guy who was walking out?
Yeah.
There's all these memes on the internet now being like how we felt watching that final episode of Game of Thrones. It felt like that Baron guy, just like, oh, you know what? I'm done. I'm out of here.
How much destruction can one dragon cause the whole city? Imagine 3. I don't even want to know. I thought one mad queen is enough with one dragon.
I think they killed them off because they couldn't afford 3 dragons.
3 dragons, yeah. And you're thinking, why the hell couldn't she have done this like some season 6? She went straight there and burnt the whole thing and grabbed it, and maybe from there then build the Mad Queen on. That would have been much better in my opinion. Have a season dedicated to like some of the antics that she's doing, create internal struggle.
Yeah,
that's so much better than her at the end burning everyone and like, oh yeah, we're gonna build a new world now. So what the hell does this come from? Out of nowhere.
I don't know. I just feel like Tyrion's made a lot of bad choices this season and last season, and they've all been really horrible ones that have resulted in people dying. And I keep thinking, and he keeps relying on like Cersei and Jaime. Like Cersei keeps relying on her mercy, and Jaime on his like ability to provide. And Jaime's got like one hand, and Cersei hates his guts. And I don't know. When Bran told him, I want you to be my hand because you made so many mistakes, I was like, yeah, all right, I buy that. That makes sense. Like, you can fix the mistakes you've made. But I don't understand how he's supposed to be the smartest guy in Westeros, you know?
Mm. And they try to justify it to say, oh, the reason why he made these mistakes is because he's in love with Daenerys. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
What is that all about? What are you
it's terrible. Absolutely
love.
terrible.
What do you mean all of a sudden, oh, I'm not as successful as you? It's like, come on, that's not even funny. Like, are you trying to say that you had a Daenerys the whole time?
You're saying?
To be honest, right? That bit there, do you know when he was like, she's been going from city to city, killing all the evil men.
Right.
That's what made him believe in her. That's what made him fall in love with her. You have to remember that she wasn't always like this. So whatever the decisions he made of supporting her were from before. It's like if I've decided to be, you know, Johan's, like if I decide to be Johan's best friend, right? Then I've made that decision knowing that, okay, he's a good guy or whatever, like, you know, he's a good mate. But then if he goes around and, do you know what I mean, he's going around being a prick or something.
If I go on the back of my dragon and start burning,
if you start burning people down, like then. But I only decided to become friends with you is because before you started doing all that, I knew you as someone else, as a different person, and that's why he has that scene where he says, you know, she kills all the evil men, which she did, and freeing all the women and children, which she did before, and that's what kind of, and you know, so you think that she's doing the right thing, but then till it gets to a point where, you know, her judgment gets clouded, right, and then she's not doing the right thing anymore, something like that, right? And so I guess what was portrayed in that scene for me is, what I took from it is that he believed in the Daenerys that he saw back in Marine, and she was, you know, freeing all the slaves and stuff. So he thought, yeah, this could be our queen. You know, she could liberate people she could be the one who can free the people from Cersei in King's Landing. But little did he know she was going to turn into this when, you know, they got all the way here. But again, having said that, he's still stupid because Varys was trying to warn him and he just wasn't listening.
No, I know. That's the worst bit. And when you think
that's
about
the worst bit.
I heard this on a separate podcast. When you think of all the bodies that Tywin Lannister, Cersei, Joffrey, like all the bodies they've amounted over their time ruling, it doesn't compare to Daenerys in like the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It really, it actually doesn't. It doesn't compare. And can we just talk about Arya for a second? How useless was she this episode? She was not necessary.
Oh, God.
Last episode, just running around the town, runs back out. This episode, what did she do? She didn't kill Daenerys. She goes up to Jon and is like, "Oh, look out, Jon! I know a killer when I see one." Like, yeah, no shit. I just saw the whole town get burned alive. I saw that, like, with my eyes. Like, what is this writing? Like, yeah, watch out, Jon. She doesn't look. I don't think she's a good guy. like,
I love how they meet each other. They're like, Arya, what are you doing here? I came to kill Cersei. It's like, what? Just go home.
The castle beat me to it. Like,
oh, Arya, oh God. I felt like they really didn't know what to do with some characters.
I watched the director's commentary, and to be fair to the writers and the directors, that's D&D, by the way, they said that the reason they had Arya run around was to kind of give us a sense of danger. Yeah. Because if it's a character we're attached to, then we're more likely to pay attention or follow through. But you could just replace her with Jon, literally. Like, it's really unnecessary to have Arya in that last episode.
I felt like they, after like season 4 or 5. They didn't know what to do with her. Like, it's this whole stupid revenge arc. It's like
they don't know what to do with her. They've sent her on a gap year, mate. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I told Hardy this as well.
What do we do with this character? Oh, just
Gap
send
year.
it to the other side of the world.
The world's traveling.
What?
It's a gap year. That's so funny. I said the exact same thing to Hardy as well.
Bro, he used the same word. He's like, "Oh, just send it on a gap year." The same exact words.
Same feeling. That's what it is. He just basically stands on a gap year. Oh, I love traveling. Oh, what's on the west? So like, what's beyond Westeros? And no one's ever seen. I don't know who she was with as well. It seemed like a massive crew as well. God knows what they're doing.
Oh God, who wants to follow her? Who's like?
I love how like they tried to allude to so many like spin-off shows. Like, that could be a spin-off show itself, really, couldn't it?
Well, Arya.
Arya on a travels. It could
Literally
be
just
Arya,
like Life of Pi, but with
You
Arya.
can make, I think even season 6, you can make a load of spin-off shows. You can do Jon Snow in the North. That's a spin-off show. You can do Arya on the gap year. That's like the
Keeping Up with Queen Sansa.
Keeping Up with Queen Sansa. That's like her own show. Bran the Broken. That's his own show.
Bran the Broken is basically just a sitcom. Can we talk about how he came up to his first ever council meeting and left within 2 seconds?
2 seconds, yeah.
Like, poor Podrick has just been there being like, I've just carried you up all those stairs just for you to go, actually, I want to go back down again. Like, what?
I've seen so many memes.
Do you know where
I've seen so many memes like of on Instagram of like someone told me this today. It was like, oh, you know what? When it's one of those situations, yeah, when Bran's the one in the group that doesn't do any of the work, he doesn't contribute to the group work, and then he ends up getting the reward at the end. Like, and there's like,
what do you guys think of Bran being spoiler, by the way?
Being when the camera started to pan towards him when he was trying to suggest a dude, and I just thought, please not Bran, please not Bran, please. And then I saw Bran was out of focus, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna pick Bran. And then didn't Bran say in a last season like, oh, I don't want to be a lord, I'm the three-eyed raven? And then here he's like, yeah, I want to be king.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. What the fuck?
I've been waiting for like 3 years. The whole point of me going north of the wall was for me to just sit by a tree, sit by another tree, and then become king. I think that people that want someone who tells stories. I was like, what?
And who better than Bran the Broken? I
was like, nobody knows Bran. No, that not only is he crippled, but he's the three-eyed raven too. And I'm like, you know what the three-eyed raven is? I don't know what the three-eyed raven is. Like, I've been following the show for so long. They've not explained anything.
That's true. I just don't think they can be asked to explain.
Night King's so shit, man. I mean, the like I've seen these memes everywhere. Like the mountain was harder to kill than the actual Night King. Like what?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh man.
I love how like they ask, oh, have you seen Drogon? And Bran's like, oh, don't worry, I found it myself. It's like, stop teasing us with this stuff then, man. Come on, man. Don't be like, I'll find Drogon myself. It's like, oh, come
I'm
on,
gonna to a raven and just follow the dragon fight from afar.
Can you imagine like someone going up to the throne? Oh, don't disturb Bran. He's having his vision. Like he's trying to find
watching
the
Endgame. What are you doing? Like the Night King's coming. I'm just gonna be away for a little while, like just a little bit away. Like I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't like how Jon is dumb. I don't like how Tyrion is dumb. I don't like how Varys is dumb. Varys was really dumb. Varys went straight up to Jon and was like, I support you. And I was like, what? And like, Varys has been so careful and so methodical. The only thing that I thought was really smart that they added in, and I didn't really pay notice to it, was in the last episode of The Bells. You know when he's writing down that Jon is like the heir to the throne, etc., and all those little notes and stuff, and he has that that waiter girl come up to him, and she's talking about how the queen's not eating. Someone said actually he was trying to poison Dany. and he was trying to get the servant girl to do it, and basically she's there saying like, I don't know if I want to do this, and he's like, well, you know what I say, the higher the risk, the higher the reward, kind of thing. And I didn't really notice that, and I didn't really clock on, and I wish there would have been an attempt to kind of justify Varys's death.
Yeah.
And kind of justify why Tyrion sold him out. Because Tyrion just goes straight up and goes like, by the way, Varys is talking shit behind your back.
Yeah.
You know what? That all comes down to the fact that this only fucking 6 episodes. That's the main thing.
7 in the last time, you know that? Like,
yeah.
The funniest thing is I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that HBO said they wanted to give them 10.
10,
and they said
10,
like, no, we can do it in 6.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
It's because the writers are going to do the next Star Wars movie, and they're going to earn shit ton of money.
You're joking.
Yeah, they're going to do the Star Wars.
I haven't seen the memes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They're doing the next Star Wars. They're going to write the next Star Wars series for Disney. They signed a contract with Disney.
Stop it.
So they're like fucking Game of Thrones.
Stop, Ron. Stop it.
They earned so much money from the Star Wars movie.
Why? Why them?
I don't know. Because they're the Game of Thrones.
They messed it up. The thing is as soon as they don't have the source material anymore, they have no idea where the plot is going. They can write a few witty one-liners here and there. I'm fine with it. But as soon as they don't have anything to rely on, they are terrible. What they're gonna? What the writing? What the new one? The new one that's gonna come out? Come out already?
No. The one's upcoming.
They wrote that. The one that's gonna be directed by.
Yeah, the ones in the future. I don't know.
Oh, the future.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm telling you, man. I really hope Obi-Wan Kenobi fucks his sister. Like, what is this?
I don't even know who that is, but yeah.
What? Wait.
I don't watch Star Wars.
That's another podcast in itself. You don't watch Star Wars? Do you know who Darth Vader is?
Yeah, he's like supposed to be the greatest villain of all time or something.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Yeah, he is, but like, all right. Well, that's another podcast in itself. Like Star Wars.
I've had no spoilers for Star Wars, so I have no clue about what happened.
Are you serious?
Nah.
Really? You don't know anything?
No.
What about like
Empire Strikes Back?
I've heard Empire. Everyone refers to Empire Strikes Back as like, these movies are trying to copy Empire Strikes Back. They're trying to have the same impact as Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, what is this Empire Strikes Back? So I googled it, and it was like, oh, it's a Star Wars movie. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was really cool. I think it's the same kind of thing with Game of Thrones, where there's like context was made in the first episode or the first film or first season or whatever you want to call it, and then because everything's been set up, you can just have fun in the second episode or second season. And that's kind of where Empire sits, because they just take you on a story and they don't need to give you any context.
Yeah,
New Hope.
Yeah, whereas like the first one, New Hope, is basically half an hour of like two robots talking in the desert. I have no clue what's going on. You have no clue.
Who's the giant cat man?
Who's this gay robot? And like a circular. Like, well, God knows R2D2, where the hell that wing is. And like, they're literally just bickering amongst each other for like 20 minutes. And obviously it's made in the 70s, so the qualities are going to be really bad, really poorly made. And you have no idea what is going on. For a good 25 minutes, it's such a slow burner. But obviously the ending was really good. It's a good movie, but it's such a slow burner. Is it like episode 1 from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I just
didn't want to.
But without the they're like it's. Yeah, actually, Harvinder's right. Episode one of Star Wars was, and you know what the worst part was? Is the first episode that came out was episode 4. So people are like, they're desperately looking for 1, 2, and 3. Like,
Wait, what?
That's very interesting. That's a cool concept. I see why they did it.
So Hardy, the first movie that came out was the 4th movie. Was the 4th one in the series.
Oh, what, in the timeline? You mean in the timeline?
No. It's called episode 4.
Yeah,
this is hilarious. I can't believe you don't know this.
it's like imagine having Endgame as your first movie. Then going
What the
like starting from we haven't seen the first Avengers. Like what happened?
Yeah.
And they hadn't released Iron Man at this point. They released Avengers, but they didn't release Iron Man or Thor.
They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything, and it's not like. And you've got people looking at like where's 1, 2, and 3, and you've got people trying to invent 1, 2, and 3. But the original trilogy started 4, 5, 6, so it's really confusing when you think about it.
Yeah, it's
I don't even know why anyone watched it, to be honest. Now when I think about it, but
I'm thinking the same thing right now.
It's the first of its kind. I think it's the first of its kind, and then Episode 5, it's Empire Strikes Back. It's like there's the battle on Hoth, so you've got like this huge snow battle with these robot camels, and then you've got like the first
really
proper first real proper lightsaber fight between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and then it finishes with the biggest plot twist in film history, and that's what it's famous for. It's got the robot camels, it's got the lightsaber.
What's the plot twist?
Do you really not know?
You don't know? No. You actually don't know this? Like
no.
Okay, wait.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't do it then.
I thought we should reenact it. I'll be.
Wait, no, wait. I've heard this line, Luke, I am your father line.
No, we've got to reenact it. Harminder, I'll play Luke. It's like.
I don't even know.
It's just.
I've heard Luke, I'm your father, but I don't know who says that.
Darth Vader. I'll be Darth Vader. You be Luke.
No, but like. All Darth Vader does is
how he. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
Oh, he is his father.
No, then you say, yeah, he did. He told me you killed him. So
yeah, he did. He told me you killed him.
No, Luke, I am your father. No, that's not true. That's impossible.
Takes off his mask.
No.
Oh, no.
That's episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true. And then and then Luke Skywalker jumps off a building.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But he survives, and survives by like landing in a tunnel, like a Snakes and Ladders tunnel.
Wait, why did he jump off? Just because he found out his dad is evil, he jumped off?
Yeah. Well, no, he found out that his dad is like the big bad guy.
Yeah, it's big bad guy.
So he jumps off.
What was funny is the line they wrote in that script was for everyone to see. The line they wrote in the script was Obi-Wan killed your father, and that's what everyone thought it was. Everyone who worked on the movie, and the only 3 people that knew were James Earl Jones, Luke, the guy who played Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, and George Lucas, and obviously it's the people who filmed it. But essentially, this is what they worked out. So when people like Harrison Ford watched the movie, they were like, "Oh, well, I didn't know that." And then, it's a very big plot twist. I think it's a brilliant one, but obviously copied time and time again. I mean, like, yeah. Can we discuss what happened with Littlefinger? Like, when did he really disappear? Was that really it? Is he dead now?
Yeah, I
saw so many fan theories online that he's still alive and he's part of the Faceless Men or whatever.
Oh no, man! No, that's bullshit.
Game of Thrones has not become now this mystic thing now. It's all
The
Night King's dead, so
I was gonna say this, right? Like ever since ever since season 7, don't you guys feel, especially season 8, don't you guys feel like the whole series has just been dumbed down in terms of like the storyline? It's just so like, it's like, oh yeah, Jon is good, Cersei's bad versus evil, or it's like this, like that. It's so much more simple, clear cut. There's no like twist. There's no like, oh yeah, Jaime was a bad character, but no, he actually ends up being good. There's no like, do you know what I mean? There's no like multiple layers.
You actually brought up a very good point. What do you guys think about Jaime? Sorry, Hovinder, what do you say?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying, do you know why? Because they dumbed it down. All the smart characters are all dead now. That's basically the truth. Every character that was so good and cunning, and like you didn't know the angle, they're all dead. Like you telling, and the ones who were smart, like Tyrion and Varys, they've dumbed them down so much to the point where it's like...
So you guys feel like that as well? Like that's what happened?
No, 100%. And not only that, like Jamie's whole character arc with him trying to be a better person.
It just went to shit. It just went to shit.
Ends with him with a bad roof job above him. Like it's just. Can we talk about how he just starts wrestling in the mud with that other guy? The other guy just swam out of the ocean. Just
yeah. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Guys,
this is not a good time. I want to show you my full Nelson.
You know what? I'll tell you. This is my honest opinion. Yeah. Fuck Euron, yeah. Hate him so much. He's the shittest character in the whole series. I don't even know why he was. Like he's just, I just don't like it. I think he's dumb. He's stupid. They overpower him sometimes, and then he's stupid.
They do overpower him.
Like I just don't like him, basically, right? And then when Jamie's trying to get to Cersei, and you see him coming, I was like, no way. I was like, don't piss me off right now. The last person whose face I want to see is his. I was like, hoping he's dead in the sea somewhere. Just don't come out, right? And you see Jamie fighting this shit sideline character that only came through in season 7, right? He's only been around for like what, one season, two seasons, including season 8, and he comes over, takes over like the Iron Islands or whatever, kidnaps Theon's sister and stuff. Sorry, and you're telling me Jamie, who's been such a big character from season 1, is going to die to like a shithead like him. Like he doesn't deserve to get the kill on Jamie. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, is this? I was just really frustrated. Like, who is this guy? I was like, just get him out of my face.
No, I completely agree.
I was very frustrated. It's like, yeah, it's just not like it wasn't well earned. The animosity between them wasn't well earned. You don't have any signs of like them really facing off against one another before. Like
I was expecting like a pirate fight scene, like a bit more romantic, because they're both fighting over the queen almost. I was expecting something from like Princess Brides where they're like fencing and stuff. But instead I got like a really, really terrible, and I mean like, how they were like trying to make it look brutal, but to me it just looked absolutely awful. It just looked like two guys wrestling.
Yeah, that's it. And it was like, what, it lasted 30 seconds. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. And the guy's like, I'm the man who killed Jamie Lannister.
So dumb.
I was like, really?
So
really?
I was like, you just walked away in front of me.
Like compare Euron to like someone like Ramsay. Look at that villain. Like how.
Oh my god, Ramsay was amazing.
Ramsay was an amazing villain. What a crazy villain! Like you'd feel so scared being around him.
Do you know what I would have liked to see? Ramsay, Euron, Cersei versus all of the good guys. That would have been an interesting one.
That would have been really fun.
Or what had happened if Ramsay had like joined the good guys as part of the Northmen? Like, yeah, everything's a bit blurred.
Yeah, see, they don't do that anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, this guy kills this guy. This is so dumb. I feel like season 8 was very dumb. And me and Harminder spoke about this as well. This is the next thing I'm going to tell you. Cersei, yeah, huge character, really, really big character. All of season 8, she's by the balcony. You spend the entire season 8 by the balcony with Cersei. That's it. That's all she's doing. She's looking over King's Landing, preparing for the war for like 3 episodes. And then the war comes through. She's still there. And then, oh, it's time to run. And oh shit, she's running on the stairs. Oh yeah, avoid mountain and hound. Don't get in between that. Run. And then gets crushed. Oh. What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
She's the worst person technically. Like obviously Ramsay and so she's a fucking villain. There's no interaction between the good guy and the bad guy. There was no
she was really dumb. Like this whole thing, like the Greyjoy fleet will get them. The Greyjoy fleet's dead. Scorpions will get them. No, the Scorpions are dead. Like,
it was all dumb. It was all dumb. Everything was dumb. Literally, the whole season was just dumb. It was just so overly simplified to the point where we couldn't understand it. That's how simplified it was. If that even makes sense.
Do you think that Cersei sending any of her men to the north would have made a difference? I don't think it would have. Like, at this rate. Like, Cersei's done absolutely nothing. She didn't defend King's Landing. She didn't defend North. Just... I don't even if she did help, she's just there. don't get me wrong. I really like Lena Headey. I heard a rumor the other day, and by rumor I think it's true, that her and Bronn were dating on the set.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah,
that's true. Okay, cool.
I said that's why they never had a scene together.
Yeah,
in the whole like.
It's because I think they either went out or they were married or something like that, or they had like a really bad relationship basically, and it
ended really bad.
So yeah, it's kind of strange. They're not. Yeah, they can't be in the same rooms together or something. So. Even Bronn, I didn't like Bronn. I mean, it's weird. Like it was funny.
When Bronn turns up.
Hello? Like even hello. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys both just cut out for me there. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was to say, like at the end of the episode, like in episode 6, where the council having the meetings. Yeah, it was funny, but it didn't feel like as like grand as it was for the first couple of seasons. You know, you had various Littlefinger, Ned Stark, you had Tywin. That was cool. You know, Tyrion, like that was a cool like chair meeting. Not like Brienne or Tarth and
Yeah, but I guess those are the people that left. You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of understand. Like everyone else is gone. Littlefinger's gone. Everyone's gone. Like
everyone with their brain is gone, basically.
Yeah, like so it's just like you have like Tarly, he's the Meister now, whatever. And,
like Sir Davos, Master of Ships. So funny. Master of Ships. It's so funny. The Master of Coin, yeah. So tell Mr.
Master of Coin can't. There's so many memes about how Dany can't count to 20. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
That is so funny. Where it's like John's like, you've killed thousands, and she's like, I can only count to 20.
That was a very random line as well.
All right, we've talked about what we didn't like. What did Harminder? You said you liked that chair scene where Drogon blows down the chair.
Yeah, I guess it's symbolic, and it was a little bit unexpected because that scene could have gone many different ways. It could have been like, obviously Jon getting burnt, or it could have been Drogon burning Daenerys or something, or just Drogon flying off. But I wasn't really expecting Drogon to fully aim for the chair and burn it to its core. I guess it's a symbol. I don't get it. Like, it makes you think, is Drogon really the smart? Like, he kind of realizes.
Is he the smart? Is he the last smart character?
Oh yeah, is he the most smartest character of all of us? Was the actual dragon himself? Like, he was the smartest character. You knew all the pain came from was this stupid throne. Like, I don't know how he knew there was a throne causing all the pain.
I thought he was making a hole so he could kind of get Dany out.
No. There was definitely more deeper meaning to it because he looked at Jon. And you looked at the throne, and you burned the throne. And I definitely spoke to Amanda about this. Like, he knew that she died because of the throne. He knew that. And do you know when he's flying away? I saw so many memes. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, guys, we need to do. Everyone's making petitions to get Drogon as the rightful heir of the Seven Kingdoms. He's the rightful king to rule the Seven Kingdoms.
Sad part is this true.
So yeah, it's a lot of memes. I think what I liked was there was a lot of cinematic shots in episode 5 and 6, especially. I love that shot when Jon Snow is walking up the stairs and then he sees Daenerys and the dragon things come out, the wings. Those were really, really good.
Do you think that was too on the nose though?
It was definitely on the nose, but. Do you know when she's walking, there's just the dragon? I was like, whoa, okay, that was nice. That was a good shot.
Episode 6.
Episode
6.
Yeah,
that was really good scene. When the dragon comes, that was a cool scene.
Yeah, that was a cool scene. So there was like a lot of cinematic shots, and then do you know when the dragon's crying right after he's seen her dead, and he does this like scream or he does this cry? That was quite nice. There was another shot when Jon is going to Daenerys in the building in the Red Keep, and the snow starts moving and you see the dragon, and then you see a really like far away shot. You see how huge the dragon is, and you see the small man standing next to the dragon, and that was again another cool. So there was a couple of cool scenes here and there, and I personally, because Tyrion's my favorite character, I liked because there was quite a bit of Tyrion in this episode. I liked how he was and stuff, and I like that he got quite a bit of time into the episode. So
did you think he was going to die? I thought he was going to die.
I thought he was going to die. So when he didn't die, I was like, thank God. If they had killed him, I would have been so mad. I would have become the Mad Queen, bro. I swear to you. Like, Like, if they killed him, I would have been like, because Tyrion's that one character that you've grown to love over like so many seasons, and even though he's made stupid mistakes recently, but in terms of, I've been looking at the show, and I think this probably applies to me more, is because I saw all the 7 seasons quite recently, so I'm still like in my mind the season 4, season 3 Tyrion is still very fresh in my mind, where he slaps like he slaps like in season 1 he slaps Joffrey in the face like, oh yeah, you know what, do this, do that. He sends he sends his horse to his room and stuff to torture him. Like all these little things in here and there, they're still fresh in my mind. So in my mind, I'm still seeing him as that same Tyrion. So that's why I kind of respect his character. And I was like,
what season do you watch Game of Thrones, John?
What season do I watch?
Season did you start watching Game of Thrones?
Did you start watching?
I started watching from season 2, I think.
Wow.
You're the same as me then.
Yeah, like when all my friends are watching it and stuff.
Yeah. Season 2 guys.
That's years ago.
Yeah, no, but it's what we used to talk about at school. I mean, I remember when the first season came out, and my sisters were watching it, but they were like just watching it on TV occasionally. Then I really kind of picked it up, and then I had back-to-back episodes. I think was season 2 the Red Wedding? Was the Red Wedding in season 2? Was that a thing? No, it was season 3.
Season 4.
Okay, cool. Season 4, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. I do feel old. Yeah. You see how much development they had in like the first 2 seasons. Like it wasn't even the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, season 3. I just see it here. Regardless, I just kept thinking when I was watching, I was like, this is such a good show. This is just this is fantasy meets real life, where you've got the realest people you've seen on TV ever. And it also happens to be a show where there's like
dragons,
zombies. Yeah, a bit like The Walking Dead, but I almost want to say it's more realistic. Like the motivations are more realistic, the mistakes are more realistic. Yeah. So it's been a long time when I think about it. And when Daenerys, Emilia Clarke, first started filming, she was 22, and now she's like 33 now. Yeah. So it's a huge show. I'm just sad that there isn't. I don't know. There isn't more. I know that they're making prequels.
I'm not interested, to be honest. Like,
well, when you hear about, like, I don't know how much you know about the lore and stuff, and there's some really good videos on YouTube that kind of summarize everything. And also,
I have watched them.
The books are quite good as well. Like, watch them. Yeah. Is it the Comic Book Girl 17?
No, I watch Emergency also.
A Comic Book Girl 17 does the best recap of everything. Like it's literally like a lesson. Just really good. Shout out to her, plug her channel. So there's some interesting stuff that happens quite early on. So I know the prequel is going to be about like thousands and thousands of years in the past. So King's Landing's not going to exist. The only things that will exist at that time are the children in the forest, which were useless in this series, but they're quite a big central character in the books, and the Night King. So yeah, just to see the Night King go out from Arya, just get stabbed in the back. Like, what? You know how the Red God like revives everyone? What do you think Jon's purpose was to be revived?
To go to the Night's Watch?
I have no idea.
No, he died on the Night's Watch.
That's a good point. No. Think about that now. Where does that lead to? Nothing.
I mean, he maybe rallied everyone together to get it. Like,
I think the purpose was to fight off the Night King, isn't it? Because so basically
the Night King. They were just slowly. They weren't slowly losing. They were losing really quickly. Like, it was almost like all the Dothraki were dead.
I mean, you thought, bro. You thought they were dead.
There's like so many of them in this episode. And then you know what's so funny? The final episode, you could just see everyone going like, all right, well, it's time to go home. You know, like 2 episodes ago, I didn't even know what a boat was, but I'm going on for the second time. Going back.
Like, do you know what I found really weird? Did you ever notice, like, did Jon Snow look happy going to the north? He didn't look happy to me. He looked kind of upset.
Oh my god, my heart broke for him, man.
I feel so bad for him.
No, not again.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, fuck's sake, I was enjoying life down south, man. Like, oh, I had to go up there again. The north, what is the point? Like, even I'm not sure if it's bad acting, but at least the director told him to look miserable, but he was beyond miserable.
I would
like it.
Like again.
It didn't look like a happy ending. It looked like a sad ending for him. I don't know why.
It did. I think it was supposed to be a sad ending, but he still made good out of it because he's like, "Oh, let's go explore and stuff."
No,
but like,
I think he's going to join the free folk.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna. If he would just go live with the free folk, to be honest.
Yeah, that was
Character, isn't it?
like, you know what? It's like I thought, flipping hell, I saw this meme as well. It's like, oh, do you remember that time when Jon being half Targaryen meant so much? Like,
what was the point? The only point was to turn Dany mad. That was it. Can you imagine Bran in the back of this just being like, I have to tell you something. Like, here you go. Now I'm king. Haha, got it.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm sorry, but Bran's being king is not earned at all. Not a single bit.
Oh yeah, like, everyone's saying how he didn't do nothing.
Half the people in the room doesn't even know who Bran is. So how are you voting him as your king?
Okay, all right, guys. Ideal king. What would be the best scenario for you? Who do you think you wanted to be king? And there can't be a main character. So it can't be Daenerys, can't be Jon. Can't be Tyrion. Who do you think would have been? Yeah, not Tyrion. Man, stop it. I know you love Tyrion, but no.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
I think they would abolish the throne. That's what I thought was going to happen.
No. But like, who do you want? Who do you want on the throne? Who isn't the main character? My sister gave a really good answer, and I'm going to steal it.
Don't tell me, because I don't want that to affect my opinion.
Because Bran is not. I mean, Bran is a main character, but he's kind of like a side. He's like C-class.
So you can't say Sansa, Arya, or any of them?
No, not an A-class character. Who would you have liked to have seen on the throne?
Like to have seen?
Yeah.
So could it be someone that's dead? Because obviously a lot of characters.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Marjorie on the throne.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't die in that massive explosion. Somehow survived.
Yeah.
Half Targaryen.
She was very.
Everyone's half Targaryen. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't. Do you remember that time being a Targaryen meant something?
Yeah, how they try to force it to be Mad Queen because her father was mad. Like, it makes no sense. And, it's just.
Can I tell you who my sister said? I thought it was such a good idea. She said the Hound. Don't you think he would be such a good king? Just not.
He'll be the funniest king, man.
No, but like
his council will just
doesn't want it. Doesn't need it. Doesn't care. It's exactly what you need. But as a character, I think it'd be absolutely hilarious.
100%. It would be hilarious. Yeah, that's a funny choice. What about you, Hamid? Who do you want to see on the throne?
I would like to see like Littlefinger on the throne. That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of his was he was trying to do something clever, but we never got to see anything.
I think the closest person who actually almost got it completely was Grey Worm.
Huh?
Grey Worm.
How?
I mean, like, he's obviously in control of King's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know there's like hundreds of Northmen around King's Landing or whatever, but he could have just sat on the throne and just been like, yeah, I'm king.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe, Bran. All of a sudden, they were like, oh, after people like Bran, okay, cool, I. I.
Don't even know who Bran is. Yara.
And Sansa's like, oh, Bran can't even have children, you know. It's like, come on, man, we don't need to know about that.
Is Yara said I, and Sansa just went, nah. I want to be. And that's how you know it's a sibling.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I spoke to Harley about this. We were like, who's had the best arc then from season 1 to season 8? And we both agreed it was Sansa. She has the best arc.
I don't know. I thought that Sansa did nothing for like 2 seasons.
No, I hated her for like all the way to like season 5. I was just like, allow Sansa, but she's the most useless character. I used to take the piss out of her. But,
yeah, but like,
you have to think about like where the character arc ends.
Maybe Theon has a really good arc.
Theon has a really good arc. You're right.
His arc was really compelling. His arc was... If I had to pick one, like one that really got to me was probably Theon in terms of like.
Theon's arc is really good from start to finish.
Tyrion's was really good. You can't forget Tyrion's. He's been for a lot as well. Like Jaime's was really good. Like and now he's
Jaime's was definitely the most. I think was definitely the biggest.
U-turn. Biggest U-turn. Yeah, 100%.
Because Sansa wasn't innately a bad character. She was just a girl. A teenage girl. Not dumb, just like, maybe a bit dumb, but like more just liked pretty things and stuff like that. And then she learned to value like the strength, and she managed to get like the best. She managed to learn a lot from Cersei without taking any of her negatives, almost.
Yeah, that's what was good.
Yeah, I almost thought she was going to kill Arya, and I was like, oh my god, you're about to become the worst character. But what about Arya? Like, what about Arya? She had such an interesting arc and such an interesting plot device, and then she kills the Night King, which is awesome. But then what?
And that was it. And then the arc ended there. But
I'm going to go to King's Landing. Yo.
I'm gonna get there and then I'm not gonna do anything and I'm gonna run back.
Here, it's all blown down. Better go somewhere else.
I love how it took Arya some sense to go all the way through King's Landing, halfway through the Red Keep and the city destroying. He'd be like, Hound to smack her. He'd be like, come on, man, like get the fuck out of here. So why? God, the city's burning down. He's like, yeah, you're right. I should just leg it out of the city. Like, how long did it take you to realize? Like, it's not worth it.
Why did that have to kill the mountain? I'm confused.
Because he's the one who sliced Ned Stark. He's the one who executed Ned Stark.
Mountain? No, it was Ilan Payne that did it.
Yeah, it was Ilan Payne. Yeah.
No, was it not the mountain?
No, I don't know. No. I think he wanted to. He didn't want to kill the mountain. He wanted to kill Cersei. Obviously, it was the Hound who wanted to kill the mountain.
No, I know the Hound one.
Mountain was on the list though. Mountain was on the list.
No, he wasn't on the list.
No, I don't think he was on the list.
Sure he was.
No,
or was the Hound on the list?
The Hound was on the list at one point.
Yeah, he was on the list. He killed his friend or something.
Yeah.
Killed the butcher.
But at that point, Hound didn't know, innit? Hound didn't know at the time.
What do you mean the Hound didn't know? The Hound knew very well. He was like, he's just listening to the king. He has to do what he does.
Oh, yeah.
King God was... So.
But the one thing I don't understand is why did he want to kill himself? And then someone said like his fear of fire was only trumped by his anger at the mountain. I would have thought he would have wanted to come out of there alive.
I think the only way he knew, because I guess I didn't get it how they made a zombie version, indestructible version of the Hound, whatever that thing.
He made a better White Walker than the actual White Walker.
Yeah, like I'm sure like, he can murder all the White Walkers. Then if he could take 5 stabbings and a stab to the eye and just take it out, I don't know what the hell that was. I'm just thinking, like,
trust me, man. The whole fucking building dropped down on him, and this guy just standing there protecting Cersei like it's nothing. I was like, what? Wait, what?
I guess the only way that the Hound knew to kill him is basically just take him off. He's like, fuck this, man. I hate this guy. This guy's a horrible piece of shit. Like, and kill himself, through a pit of fire.
All right,
guys. So let's wrap this up now.
All right.
So what are you guys' final thoughts on? Give me your final.
Great
thoughts.
episode. Would watch again. season 8 is the best season ever.
Love it.
The writing was so on point.
It was
In
such
fact,
great
I
season.
think they should have just killed all the dragons right from season 1. We didn't need any more dragons. So glad they got rid of them.
Do you know how they've made this show make us hate White Walkers so much? Yeah, I mean, after episode 3, me and Hardy like, I'm so glad it's done. I don't want to see any more.
Yeah.
And like now, I'm so glad I don't want to see any more dragons either. I'm done with dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can stay away from
sour
them.
taste.
No,
It left such a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know all these little things I used to love. I hate White Walkers and I hate dragons. Don't want to see anymore.
you know what I want to see more of? Cersei drinking wine.
Wine, yeah.
I feel after a long day at work. That's what I want to watch. Someone else drink wine while I drink wine watching this show. just yeah. In all seriousness, it's been a journey. I think I know that you guys said like even what you said you were happy up until season 4. I was still happy last season. Like I know it was still a bit dumb, but at least
I didn't mind last season that much.
Last season was way better than season 8, 100%.
Yeah.
Way
I mean,
better.
It was.
I mean, there was a lot of fan service last season, and they've done a lot more fan service in this one, kind of giving people what they want, but in turn they bit themselves in the butt by kind of having to put plot armor around certain characters, and I think they could have just killed off a few. And I know, Hardy, you're going to hate me, but honestly, the amount of mistakes Tyrion's made at this point, he should have been dead much earlier. If he didn't make those mistakes, then yeah, he should have stayed alive. But literally, he threw the hand thing away, and she goes and throws him in the prison. Like, what's that about? You've got your dragon behind you. You've literally burnt the whole town to the ground without any kind of judgment. You're gonna wait to like execute him? Like, what is this about? Like, I don't know. I think all the actors were brilliant. I think it was shot amazingly. Like, you can't deny how beautiful
It looked,
the aesthetics of everything. But you also can't deny that there were just some really dumb situations. And I almost feel like the people who wrote the Fast and Furious series could have done a better job. I mean, these are the kind of people that drive cars out of planes and they try to make it about family. I felt like I was seeing the same thing, almost.
I could have, at this point, I could have seen them riding elephants out of planes.
Vin Diesel comes out of the car and lands on Daenerys would have been a better ending.
Like,
hey, you could put Avengers Endgame. That would still be a better ending.
And it was just appeared.
Time travel back in time. Oh God, I'll accept that more often.
You just see like Captain America running through the back of King's Landing, the Red Keep, trying to put back the stone.
Yeah.
that was good. All right, guys, that's been our review, our thoughts, our perspective, our feelings about Game of Thrones, the finale, and season 8 in general. And let us know what you guys thought about it and whether or not you guys agree with us.
Let us know what to watch next. Actually.
Yes. Have you seen Stranger Things, Johan?
You know what? People are going to hate me, but no, I haven't.
Wow. Johan, you need to watch it, man. It's really good. But both of you, you need to watch it as well. It's really, really good.
And Lucifer, you guys should watch Lucifer. I feel like Game of Thrones requires a lot of attention. Lucifer doesn't. It's a bad show. Don't get me wrong. It's a bad show, but it's very good at the same time. It's about the devil who's tired of being in hell, decides to become a detective. It's on Amazon Prime and on Netflix. I really recommend it. It's really bad. It's so bad. Like, you watch it and you're just like, this is so dumb. But I love it. It's so good.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for that recommendation, Johan. And it was nice having you return as a returning guest on the podcast.
Thank you for having me back after my lifetime ban.
And yeah, any last thoughts, guys?
Yeah, it's a sad ending. I was at the end of the episode, I was quite gutted because I know I'm not going to see anything this amazing again. And it hurts because I've been following.
Did you guys feel like you were going through a breakup at all when you finished this?
A little bit at the end.
I felt a bit like it. My heart kind of pounded a bit. I was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I was definitely upset because I've been a part of the show for like, I don't know, 7 years now.
You were a part of the show.
I mean, a part of watching the show.
I'd recognize that dragon somewhere.
Haminder's that White Walker in the back, you know.
Yeah.
He's that.
The guy with the beard.
Haminder was Arya the entire show. We had no idea.
Yeah, one of the Dothraki, you know.
One of the.
Jared, have you seen the episode 5 reconstruction, by the way, video? It's amazing. Have you seen it?
No.
You need to watch how it's on YouTube. Yeah, behind the episode, how they built the episode 5, like the.
Oh yeah, no. I've seen where they do all the special effects and how they, like.
Amazing.
I didn't realize how many shots of fire they needed to emulate fire.
Yeah, it's great. The way they built the site from scratch, like a random car park in Northern Ireland. It's like, what the hell? They built like Croatia.
Do you see they had to pile up containers around the set so people wouldn't look in and fly in with drones?
Yeah. They built like it was crazy. Like all the things they did. And we hope you guys enjoy this quick roundup, our thoughts and feelings of Game of Thrones, and if there's any other shows you'd like us to cover that we've all seen, we'll be happy to cover those for you. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast.
All right, guys. These have been the Thinkable guys, and catch you on the next one. Peace.
The jazz music.
The jazz music.